In today's video, we're setting up a shallow blackwater aquarium. If you've never had a blackwater tank before, they're super fun to watch, really easy to maintain as well. I've added some beautiful tetras and some really tiny cories. Let's start the video. Alright, I'm excited about this one, guys, because it's been a while since I've done a blackwater style setup, especially a shallow one. I think the last time I did a shallow blackwater aquarium was when I still had the old big shallow aquarium, when I was still living in the old apartment. If you've never seen that tank, I'll overlay some clips. Alright, so let's quickly go over the setup for today. So this is a 60 centimeter or 2-foot shallow tank. Put all the exact images on the screen. Really nice quality actually, and I bought this one from Amazon. So if you want one for yourself, I'll see if I can find some links and leave them in the video description. For the light, I'm using a freshwater blade from Aquascape. It's a really flat light, I think that's why they call it a blade. But I've mounted it to the drawer that's above the tank, so I can actually, still move the drawer, and I thought it was a nice solution. And the light is app controlled, so probably for a blackwater tank, I'm only gonna run it at a very low percentage. Then in terms of filtration, I actually have the external cans filter below over here. This is an AQUASOIL Biomaster 250, I think. Actually way too big for this shallow blackwater tank. But the previous layout in here was like a high-tech planted tank. So that's why I used a big canister filter. So I could swap it for something smaller. But I mean, this one is already cycled. It's already full of beneficial bacteria. So that's why I want to use it. If you want to do this yourself, you can use like a small hang on the back filter or just like a small internal filter, just whatever you have available. So I've modified this tank a little bit. Standard, it comes with a white foam mat underneath, which doesn't really look nice on this black shelving unit, So I've swapped it out for a black foam mat, and I've added a background behind the tank. This is like this privacy window film. I think I'm going to remove this one because it's white. We're going for a blackwater style tank, so I think I want to have a black background on the tank right now. So I removed the old background, cleaned the glass a little bit, and now we're ready to apply our black background. As you can see, I'm using the front glass panel as the background, if that makes sense, if you're still following me. Because they have this logo, I don't want to see that, so I'm using the front glass panel as the back. Here we go, black background all done, and as you can see, I've also done the left side panel. Thought it would be cool, just make them both darker. Also, at the moment, I'm not really sure yet what kind of fish I'm going to keep in here, but usually fish that are suitable for blackwater tanks are a little bit more shy. So, yeah, if you have a side panel blacked out as well, that will just make them feel more comfortable. The reason I didn't do this side panel is because I'm going to go for a bit of a triangular style composition, and I want to be able to view the tank from this side as well. Now you can see that at the moment it's still a bit ugly. You can see where I've kind of like wiped away the moisture, but that texture will eventually disappear once the water evaporates from the little bit of water that's between the foil and the glass will eventually evaporate, and then it will be completely black. Okay, I think we're ready to start building our layout. I'm going to do the substrate first. I'm not going to go for any AQUASOIL or any nutrient-rich substrate. Just going to keep it really simple with some sand and gravel. I have some leftovers that I want to use. There's some fine 1 to 2 millimeter gravel. Got some really fine sand. I even have some sand in the trash bag. So basically just going to use my leftovers for this build. Here we go, basically just a thin layer of sand, and I made it a little bit thicker, sloping towards the back left corner. I probably do want to add some plants, so I just have to make sure that we have a decent layer so that I can actually plant into it. But I think we're good now. So I recently bought some really nice manzanita wood online. Actually, some really nice pieces. So I want to use this in a bit of a triangular shape, coming from the back left corner, kind of flowing this way. You guys can see that. But before I can do that, I need to first determine the place where the inflow and outflow of the filter is going to be. So going to do that first. Here we go, in the outflow nicely tucked into the corner. Here's the inflow, here's the outflow. Outflow has a nice skimmer as well, so we don't get any biofilm on top of the water surface. I think that's always very important, especially in a shallow tank. Yeah, hopefully I can kind of cover that up with some hardscape, so we don't see the in and outflow. Okay, here we go guys. I've got 3 pieces of manzanita, so really simple. This one has the thinnest branches, so I'm going to place it in the back, you know, to enhance the sense of depth. Just like that, a little bit more horizontal, so we also have a branch out of the water. We might be able to use that for some immersed plants. Then the second one, just going to go in front of it, but a little bit more downwards, a little bit more in the water. And then number 3, this one has a little bit thicker branches, so this one's going to go in front, a little bit pointing towards the front right corner here, so we get that triangle effect. I mean, I think that looks pretty good already, right? Okay, next up I have some of these gray pebbles. I'm going to place them kind of randomly, but also against all the manzanita branches in the sand. Here we go. I think that's the hardscape pretty much done. Really like how that looks. Super simple as well. My only concern now is the buoyancy of the manzanita wood. I think I'm definitely going to have to glue it down. This piece in the middle here, kind of already weighted down with some of these pebbles, so I don't think that one is going to float up. But the other 2, yeah, I think I'm going to have to secure them. So here's a good example. Pebble and a piece of wood, a little bit cotton in between there, and then just soak that with the liquid super glue. If you want, you can sprinkle some sand on top of it to hide the cotton. And now in a few seconds that should be all stuck. Okay, all done gluing, and I think everything is quite secure. I've also glued the 3 pieces of manzanita wood together at the top over there. So I think we should be good. But just to be sure, let's just fill up with water, and then we can also turn on the filter, see how the flow is. Yeah, let's do that now. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, but that says 0. So basically at the moment I'm filling the tank up with pure reverse osmosis water, so TDS 0, pure H2O, no minerals whatsoever. I do think that the gray pebbles that I've added contain some calcium, so they will release some minerals into the water column. But yeah, in general we should have really soft water in here, so we can take that into consideration for the inhabitants as well. Alright, tank is all filled up, filter's up and running, and the wood didn't float, so I'm happy. I think that's basically just 2 things left to do for today. We have to add in some plants. Yes, it's a blackwater tank, but I still want some green in there. And we also have to, of course, turn it into a blackwater tank with some tannins, some leaf litter, stuff like that. You might notice that there's already a slight tint to the water. That's because I've added in these new Catappa tea bags from Seachem. So this is perfect for people who still want tannins but don't want the mess of leaf litter and stuff like that. So the instructions say to just boil 1 tea bag in like 1 liter of water. Didn't want to do that, so I just chucked it in about an hour ago. Yeah, it's already starting to tint the water, so pretty cool. Yeah, let's get the plants for this tank. Now I didn't order any plants for this project, but I do have some of this really nice Nymphoides Taiwan that we can use. Well, I have some of this Lantium tellum as well. I think that will also look really good in there. Okay, so let's see if there's enough sand somewhere we'll be able to plant this into. Oh, that should work. Do another one a little bit more in the center here. Okay, I grabbed a smaller one and then I attached it to a pebble with a small elastic band. So now we can just place it anywhere. Okay, then the Lantium tellum, this one can go a little bit more in the foreground. If you just wedge it in between the pebbles, it should stay put. Okay, now let's try just a little bit of that long handgrass in the background. Okay, I think that's enough green for the underwater section. It would be nice to have some green growing out of the tank as well. Let's see if we can do that. So again, going back to the big shallow, I have the Hygrophila siamensis, I think it is, growing really tall right now, so we can definitely take some of that. And I also have the Brazilian pennywort. Might take some trimmings from there as well. I think that would look good. Yeah, so those immersed plants, the Hygrophila and the pennywort, they might look a bit sad and droopy for a few days, especially the Hygrophila, but they will get adjusted soon enough. Right, so with the planting done, I think we can now turn this into a proper Blackwater with botanicals and leaf litter and everything. Got some elder cones, so yeah, let's do this. So this looks a bit weird, but these are all the botanicals that I've been soaking overnight. We got leaves, we got elder cones, twigs, pods as well, so let's just start adding them in. Some of it will probably still float. That's okay. So these right here are actually the taper leaves from Seachem. They come in different sizes. This one is the S. Now to put the whole leaf in the tank like that, and I think that's a bit too big in my opinion, so I'm just gonna shred these up into tiny pieces as well, or like not tiny pieces, but just make them a bit smaller, you know. Got some of these really cool pots as well, which is also still floating, but that's okay. Alright, fast forward about a month later, and our shallow Blackwater is doing really good. I kind of missed having a Blackwater tank in my studio. It's been a while, and they're just so easy to take care of, you know? Like, it's been a month and I haven't really done anything to the tank. Actually, the only thing I had to do is kind of replenish the tannins, if that makes sense. So once in a while, I just add in a new tea bag, because tannins, they just slowly disappear over time, even if you don't do water changes. But yeah, tank is doing good. The plants have actually started to grow out of the tank, so that's pretty cool. But we don't have any inhabitants yet. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to keep in here. I mean, we could go several ways with Blackwater, you know. You can go Asia, you can go South America. Kind of wanted to go South America and keep some dwarf cichlids in here, but I think it's maybe a bit too small for dwarf cichlids, you know. Like Apis, for example, they can be quite aggressive. But I just came back from the fish shop. I have 2 bags over here. Let me show you guys what I got. Okay, so first up, we have a bag of amber tetras. So we're still staying in South America. These guys were actually on sale in my local fish shop. It was like 5 for 10 euros. So I think I got 15 of them. And then in the second bag, I have a nice group of dwarf cories. I think the common name for these guys is the salt and pepper cory. Latin name is Corydoras habrosis, if I'm not mistaken. So just really cute, really small cories. I think there's a nice combination, the amber tetras and the cories. The cories will stay a little bit more on the bottom. The amber tetras will stay in the middle, so I think it's a nice combination. Here we go. We finally have some movement in this tank. This is really cool. So the amber tetras, I mean, they are orange, so they kind of have the same color as the tannins. So they actually kind of just blend in with the environment, you know, which is cool. In an aquascape, you would probably want some fish that really stand out, but since we're going for a natural environment here, yeah, like in natural environments, fish try to blend in to just survive, you know, that's their defense mechanism. The cories have started exploring as well. Some of them are kind of like zooming across the glass over there, and a few of them are just kind of like chilling in between the leaf litter and stuff. Now, I've actually never like successfully managed to breed cories, but I don't know, maybe in here this could actually work. I mean, besides, the amber tetras could prey on some baby cories maybe, but I don't know. It would be fun to give that a try.